Morning to you. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a wonderful day. Mine was great. I thank God. And I hope everyone is safe and back home well. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity again to be able to share with you a little bit about wellness edit. And I'm excited to share. And I hope everyone can hear me well. I am Grace Gathu. I'm based in Mombasa. And yeah, I'll be taking you through tonight. So let me try to share my screen. Okay, Emmanuel, let me know if it's being shared well because, yeah. Hold on just a second. Oh, goodness. Okay, just give me a second. All right, Emmanuel, I think I need a minute. It's not sharing. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me mute a bit so I can just take care of it real quick. However, I've shared it with you just in case it refuses to work, in case I can't share it. Okay, okay. All right. I know what's wrong. Just a second. Hi again. I'm so sorry about that. I hope now everyone can hear me and can see my screen. Are you able to?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, my apologies for that. Yeah. So I think we'll just get started. So our subject today is wellness edits. And basically it's in the health and wellness. So that is what we'll be talking about. And we'll focus a little bit on our gut and weight and stuff. So it's going to be exciting. So what's wellness edit? What do we mean when we say that? And it's basically just a thoughtful collection of processes, plans that are focused on our well-being and our health. And like I shared the last time I was able to share, I said when we are not in good health or in good health and we are well, we are unable to do so much. It doesn't matter how much money we have. It doesn't matter our status. It doesn't matter where we come from. If we are not healthy and we are not well, there's a lot of things we cannot do. You're basically stuck. So we should always be so grateful for being well and being in health. And we should never take it for granted. So there are many different kinds of wellness edits. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
A lot of things that we focus on when it comes to that. There's occupational, there's physical, there's emotional, there's intellectual, there's environmental, there's financial, there's spiritual, there's social. So we have so many different kinds that we can focus on. However, today we'll just be focusing on the physical element. Goodness, I've lost power. The physical element, and we'll be looking at the different things it contains. Hello, are we together? Yeah, can see everyone. Okay, so we'll be focusing on the physical wellness, Edith. And I can see people drawing on my screen, and it focuses basically on body and on physical health. So we have the gut health, we have fitness, and we have rest. So we'll be looking at them in detail, especially gut health, because fitness and rest, there isn't so much to it. I think a lot we kind of already know. So we are going to focus on gut health. However, I will touch on the other two. So don't worry, I got you. So the gut, what's the gut? If we can remember from our science and our high school or our unis, it basically refers to our digestive system and all its microorganisms or microbiome. And basically that means it's bacteria, and we have trillions and trillions in our system. And it is also considered the second brain. And why? Because it has millions of neurons and it actually has its own nervous system. So that is why it's considered that. And the main aim of the gut is basically to control digestion and absorption. So, yeah. So, I want to talk a little bit about a healthy gut. We know there's unhealthy gut and there's healthy gut. And like we always say, 1 in 3 people always have an issue when it comes to their gut. You'll always meet someone who says I'm lactose intolerant, or I have acidity issues, or I bloat, or I have constipation, or I can't eat this because if I eat, it does this. If I do this, and that basically ends up affecting a lot when it comes to us, because as we've seen, the gut is the second brain. So it affects a lot of things in our system. So when our gut is not okay, there'll be a lot of things that won't be right. And some of these things, we are going to look at them. However, let's start with when it's healthy. What actually does it help in? It helps in digestion, of course. As I said, the main aim is digestion and absorption. So it helps in our moods. And you'll see why, even as we continue to talk about it, it helps with our brain function. It helps with the immunity, it helps with our energy levels, and it helps to reduce inflammation. So if our guts are not healthy, just know you will have a struggle in one of these areas, if not all, or if not several. So it's very important for us to have a healthy gut. And as you can see in that cute picture of gut microbes, a matter of balance here. So we should always have it balanced. So when our gut is okay, then a lot of the things in our body will actually be okay. And this has been researched, and they found out that the gut plays a huge, huge role when it comes to us being well. All right. I hope you're with me. So, sorry guys. So, unhealthy guts. What happens? So, how can you tell that your gut is unhealthy, or you're not okay when it comes to your gut? So you'll have such symptoms. You'll feel bloated. You feel fatigued. You know, those people who wake up and they just feel tired. You know, you're just feeling like you're dragging all the time. That is one of the things. There's also mood swings. you realize that maybe you snap easily, you're irritated easily, you're agitated easily. Yeah, and that's part of it also. There's also poor sleep. You realize that you can't sleep well. One time when my gut was not really well, I remember I couldn't sleep well at night because of acidity. So I couldn't get a good night's sleep. I had to stay up. You want to try and sit upright. You don't want to lie down. So those are some of the things that you struggle with when your gut is not healthy. There's also skin conditions. A lot of people that actually have breakouts on their skin and their skin is not okay. It always starts with something from the inside. When your inside is good, when your inside is okay, trust me, it will reflect on the outside, on your skin. It's going to reflect, it will show. When you've taken care of inside, you'll notice you're glowing. When you've taken care of inside, you realize your skin is clear. When you've taken care of your inside, you realize that you don't have breakouts. If normally you're someone who has breakouts, whether it's like acne or it's eczema or it's rashes, whatever you might be going through when it comes to skin, you realize it reduces based on what you're putting inside. Okay, so it's really affected by the gut. We also have brain fog. There are meals when you eat, you realize you feel lazy, like you feel like you can't think, like you can't focus. Okay, and there are meals that once you eat, you feel very focused, you feel energetic, you feel ready for the day, you feel like you can think, you can process. Right, so it's really important to know what you're putting inside. So again, we see how the gut affects our brain. There's also, sorry, I've repeated mood swings. I've talked about it. There's also pH imbalance. If you have an unhealthy gut, you realize your pH is not balanced. So probably there's a lot of acidity and you're having maybe stuff like heartburns or hyperacidity, stuff like that. And it's because your pH in the stomach is not balanced. And yes, I do know that we have a lot of acid in our stomach and in our gut because it's supposed to help digest the meals. However, there's a way that God balanced the gut. So it's able to digest the meals without really hurting us. So if it's harming you, then it means there's something wrong with your gut and you need to take care of it so that you can be better, so that you can be okay. And today we are going to see how we can actually do that and get to reset that, get to edit our gut, literally. And then also this lethargic. So it's the same thing that I've shared on the opposite side with the photos. The digestive issues, fatigue, hormonal imbalances also can greatly be caused by what we eat and how our gut is behaving. I've talked about, I think everything there actually. Yeah. Weight changes, yes, that's also affected by our gut. Whether we are talking about weight loss, whether we are talking about weight gain, whether we are talking about maintaining our weight, it's also affected by how our gut is, how healthy or how unhealthy it is. That plays a major role. And that's why we say, even for people who are looking to be fit, 80% is done in the kitchen. So basically 80% is what we eat, and what we eat is actually what affects our gut. So it plays a major role when it comes to weight management. All right. I hope we are together. Emmanuel, if you could say you are yes, so I can know I'm not alone. Okay,
Yes, we are together.
thank you. Yeah. So why do you actually need a gut edit? Why do you need to reset? Why do you need to sit down and say, I'm going to take care of my gut? I'm going to sit down and start over. Why is it important to do this? And actually, how many people actually get to do this? That's also the other thing. So, number one thing is to restore a healthy microbiome. That is, when you see this word, it just means the bacteria in our gut. We have good bacteria, we have bad bacteria in our gut, and most of the time, we want the good bacteria to be more. Right, so when we actually have the bad bacteria being more, then you end up falling sick, or you're having an infection or something. You will not be okay. Okay, so the reason why we want to have a an edit is to ensure that we are having a healthy environment for the bacteria, because we need the bacteria in our tummy and in our gut. So we also take it to remove toxins. And when you get rid of toxins, you realize that you're getting rid of inflammation. And inflammation causes a lot of trouble in us. Okay, it's actually also connected to energy levels. So when you are inflamed, actually stuff like stomach ulcers and stuff like that, those are all caused by inflammation, and they bring a lot of discomfort, and it's very painful for people who go through it. And this is caused by a lot of inflammation and ends up, of course, being the wounds, and they break, and they're really painful because of the acid in the stomach, because the acid in the stomach is extremely strong. The way God created us is just magnificent. Okay, so once it hits the wounds, it becomes very painful. And yeah, so we don't want that. We don't want inflammation. It is not our friend. It's not a good thing. And of course, toxins, as we know, they're not good. Toxins is what will end up causing stuff on our skin. It is what will end up making us sick, all those things. So we want to ensure we don't have toxins in our system. It also ends up boosting our immunity. If we reset and start over, you realize your immunity has gotten better. And maybe stuff that you were struggling with, maybe you kept catching a cold, or falling sick easily. You realize once you reset, your body behaves differently. You realize that you don't fall sick that easily as you did before. Okay. Okay, another thing, it ends up aiding in weight management. And what I said about weight management, I don't want you to just think like we learned last time. When we say weight management, we just don't mean weight loss, okay? Because a lot of people tend to go there. It could mean weight gain, and it could mean managing where you are also, okay? So this applies to all those. And also controls emotions and moods. Let me tell you, when someone is not okay on the inside, you try them. You'll see how they'll snap at you. Si kupenda kwao, it's just what they are going through and what they are feeling. So that is why we need to take a minute and say, hey, I need a reset. I think I need to reset my gut. I need to take a break from eating. I once had a leader say, I think she was 40 years, and she was like, I have been eating every single day for 40 years. Do you realize how long that is? Every day you're eating, you're eating, you're eating. When do you say, let me take a break? Let me just take a break from eating and help my system and reset it. Like we take our cars for services, or we go and take care of what else? Maybe our bikes, we also need to take our gut for services. And how do we do this? By taking a reset, by starting over, by giving it a break. Like imagine if you don't eat for a day, what will happen? I mean, you'll be fine. You just know how to do it. You just need to know how to do it right. But give your system a break so it can heal itself. Okay? All right. So what are the steps for a gut reset or an edit, and how do we do this? Just like the word edit says, like when you're editing a video for people who are, I think actually a lot of us have ended up becoming content creators. When you're editing, you remove the things that you don't want and you leave the good ones. It's the same thing also with our system. We want to remove what is not good for us. We want to remove what does not work for us and leave what works for us and what is good for us. Okay, so it's the same thing we are literally doing here, but we are doing with our gut. Okay, so one of the things is detoxing. The number one major thing is detoxing. If you go on the internet today, if you go on YouTube, if you go on Google, you will realize there are so many different ways of detoxing. There are so many different formulas. There's lemon water, there's apple cider, there's so many different ways, okay, that you can detox and start over. And it's basically clearing out your system of the toxins and giving it a break so it can breathe. Okay, it can regenerate, it can heal, and just have a break. So this is one of the very important things that we need to do, and I'm going to tell you how you can actually detox perfectly and in a good way. I'm going to share with you today. Number two, you need to have gut healing foods. Take them, consume them. So it means you should really be alert and aware of what you're eating. Get gut healing, supporting meals. I remember Dr. Sobra shared with us during Success Day about mindful eating. Don't eat very fast. Eat slow because your brain registers a bit later than your stomach that you're full. So you'll end up eating, and by the time your brain registers, you're too full. You've taken so much, you are so uncomfortable, you don't know what position to sit, you might want to lie down. It makes you feel lazy, it makes you that feeling, it's not good. So you need to stop right before you're full, like around 80%. I think she said something like that. Before we are full, that's when you need to stop. So you need to think about the meals you're taking. You need to take natural, anti-inflammatory, fiber-rich foods, and I will tell you also what we have to help you in that area. Those are the kind of meals we need to eat. And sadly, now in our society, we have become people who are drawn to processed meals, quick meals, shortcuts. What can make me do less, take the least time, and we are not thinking about what that does to our system. Okay, when we are rushing, our kids have grown up to know, like, oh, processed foods are tastier, and they're actually not good for them. And even us, taking takeouts all the time, and now in our society, it's so easy to order meals and they come to your house, and you don't cook, you don't know how they were prepared, you don't know the oils they used, you don't know. I'm not saying it's bad once in a while, I know, but how oftenly do we do it? How long do you cook your meals for? Unachukua mboga, unapika, it was dark green, it has changed to jungle green. So what are you getting from those vegetables when you're cooking them? And yet you're like, oh, I'm eating a balanced diet, it has vegetables and all that, yet the mboga has turned to jungle green. You've killed all the vitamins. Are you washing your vegetables before cutting or after cutting? Remember, vitamins with water. So you need to wash before cutting. Even if it's not you doing, you're going to buy them from somewhere, you need to let the person doing it for you do it the right way. Are we eating a lot of frozen meals, pre-packed? Okay, I know there are people who meal prep, it is okay because you freeze it immediately, but there are those which are processed that you can buy from the store. Are they okay for you? No, they are not, because they have some preservatives to make them stay longer, unlike the ones you make at home, maybe for meal prep. Okay, so those are some of the things when we talk about mindful, you're thinking, you're aware about what you're eating. Those are some of the things you need to think about. You need to think about your plate. How is it? All right. So let me continue. We'll get further into it a little bit. And then there's gut supporting supplements. There are so many supplements that we can take that are able to support our gut. And you need to get yourself some good healing supporting supplements. So not just any supplements. There are so many in the market, but you need to know what you're getting. Are they organic? Are they chemically based? How are they reacting in your body? What are the side effects? Are you okay? You need to figure out all that. Okay, so not just see any supplement like, okay, here is a supplement, let me just take it because it's a supplement. No, you need to understand it, know it, check the nutritional label, check what's inside that supplement, get to know, and then now you take it if it's right for you. The other thing is hydration. We are in June and July, and I know we are getting into the cold season, and a lot of people, when it's cold, end up not taking a lot of water. If you are waiting for when you're thirsty to actually take your water, you realize that you're already dehydrated by the time you're starting to take that water. You are supposed to take your water before it gets there. So we are literally supposed to take around 8 glasses of water. And I know for men and women is different. For women is around 11 cups, and for men is around 13 cups. But it also depends with where you live, your physical activity, how is the climate there? Is it hot? Is it cold? Just get a balance. However, at least make sure you're maintaining the 8 glasses of water, and we'll see why it's important. All right. Are we together? Please type something so I can know. I'm literally in the middle of a blackout, so I need to know if we are together. Thank you. Thank you, Muli. I've seen. Okay, so let's get a bit deeper into detoxing. Thank you, everyone. I can see. Thank you so much. So, I partner with an incredible company called Forever Living Products International, and we basically deal with aloe products, okay, and bee products, and we are organic. So, I am a distributor with them, and these are some of the best products that we have in the world. And you can quote me and take it to the bank. So we have a great product for detoxing. I am a beneficiary of this product. I've used it severally. It has done wonders. So I'm not talking from a distributor point of view, but also as a consumer and someone that this product has changed my life. Okay. So it's called Forever Living Clean 9, and it's a 9-day cleanse program, a nutritional and a detox system, which is part of our FIT programs. We have different programs. We have the C9, we have the F15, we have the Vital. So we have several, but I'm talking about the C9 today. And what does it contain? For someone who has never probably heard of a C9, it contains aloe vera gels, and we have two 1 liter aloe vera gels. I'll get back to you to explain it a bit more. We have a protein shake, which we call Forever Light Ultra Shake. We have supplements. We have three. We have the Forever Thumb, we have the Forever Garcinia, and we have the Forever Fiber. And the box you're seeing on my right, which should be on the right of your screen, that is the C9. You can see the Forever Light. You can see the two yellow bottles. Those are the aloe vera gels. And then the purple box that's written C9, the small one in between the shaker and the big box. Inside there, you'll have 9 fiber sachets, and you'll have Garcinia tablets, and you'll have Thumb tablets. So I want to explain what these are in case someone is like, I don't understand. So what are these? And I apologize for any noise you might be hearing. That's not from me. So, aloe vera gel, what does it do and what is it? It's basically supports our gut health and our digestion. And remember, we are talking about our gut health and how to take an edit or a reset. Okay. And one of the ways we've seen is through detoxing. So that is where we are in case you're lost. So, aloe vera gel, and ours is stabilized 100% aloe vera gel. Okay. So literally when you're taking it, you'll notice it has some fiber particles inside. That is how organic it is. And it's cold pressed, it's picked by hand, and we use the inner leaf, not the outer leaf, the inner leaf, which is delicate, it's full of nutrition. And we use the aloe barbadensis miller. That's the aloe vera that we use. There are more than 200 types, but among the 200, there are 3 that are the most nutritious, but aloe barbadensis is actually the most nutritious, and that is what you use. So you're sure you're getting what you need for your system. You're getting enough minerals, you're getting enough vitamins, you're getting all the wonderful things that you need for your body. And how it actually supports our gut health and digestion is because aloe vera is a very good cleanser, right, for our system, for our gut. It's very good at cleansing, and it's very good at detoxing. So kind of cleaning our system, remember when we talked about toxins, when we were talking about gut health, it is able to take care of that because it cleans and makes sure that our system is okay. I remember when Dr. Sabra was teaching us some time back, she talked about like a pipe that is clogged. Okay, that is how sometimes our gut will look like, and you need something to clear it. You need something to clean it. That's why we are talking about resetting and taking a break and stopping. So aloe vera actually does that for us. And I was so impressed when I was preparing for this, and I was actually looking at the aloe veras, and ours aloe vera from Forever Living was tops, and they were saying you need to actually use that because it is the best in helping when it comes to cleansing, when it comes to just detoxing, when it comes to basically hitting starting a reset, editing your gut. This is what you need. And at the same time, it ends up improving our nutrient absorption. So, which is very important because as we've seen, we will need supplements at some point. So you need to be able to absorb that which you're taking. If it's the supplement, you need to be able to absorb it well. If it's the gut healing food that we are taking, you need to be able to absorb it well. There is no way you can take a clogged pipe and you try to pour water through it and you expect water to go through. It's not going to go through. It will just be wasted. The same way, if our system is clogged, if our system has not been cleansed, there is no way we are going to absorb those wonderful nutrients that we are getting from aloe vera. So it's very important, extremely important for us to ensure that we are detoxing and cleansing our gut when we are doing a reset. Okay, so you don't need to go and use the others. You just need aloe vera, and you just take a quarter glass in the morning before you eat anything, and a quarter glass at night before you sleep. Are we together? If you're together, please say hello. And I am waiting so I can make sure we are together. I'm not talking to myself. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. So, okay. Another thing I would like for you to know is that our aloe vera is what did I want to say? It soothes our digestive tract, and it also helps with bowel movement and supports immunity. These are very important things when it comes to gut health because bowel movement is literally affected by your gut. What is in your gut? Of course, that is where everything happens before now it comes out. So again, if it's blocked, if it's clogged, there's no way you're going to have a normal bowel movement. And what does that end up doing to you? You end up being constipated. You end up being bloated, you end up being so gassy. So you actually need to take aloe vera to help you, to assist you in unclogging, to help you in supporting the healthy bowel movement. Okay, yeah, so let me move on to the next one, the forever ultra light, the forever light ultra shake. Okay, so this is basically protein, it's protein shake, and for each scoop you actually get 24 grams of protein. I don't know where you're going to get that with just a scoop. Okay, this is literally incredible. And guess what? It's plant based, it's soy based. So it's actually good for you. You're actually getting the best because we always know that plant based is always better than animal. So it's just that some of us love nyama very much, but uh, plants are always better. Okay, when you're actually looking at resetting and restarting and all those things, you want to try to keep it plant-based if you can. So this is an incredible shake that you can use, and it provides 21 minerals and vitamins. Okay, so basically it is nutritionally complete. It lacks nothing. It's a complete meal, meaning if you're looking at weight management, if you're looking at resetting, you're able to use it um, to replace a meal. Okay, and it's a full meal for you, right? And it's a good one. It also has something we called aminotin, all right, which is basically an enzyme that blends, that prevents bloating. Okay, it helps our body to prevent bloating. A lot of protein shakes, when you take them, you end up becoming bloated. With ours, you don't get that because it has that particular enzyme. And an advantage of it is that when you're detoxing, when you're going and resetting and detoxing, you are basically going to get rid of the toxins. So as you get rid of the toxins, you realize there's some weight that's being lost, whether it's water weight, it's weight from because the toxins in our body actually weigh a lot. So also when we are getting rid of them, you'll end up losing some weight most likely. So when you do, what the protein does, it helps with the muscle development, okay, and protecting the muscle and maintaining it so that you don't end up having a lot of lose stuff. Okay. The other thing is that it's a very good weight management replacement meal, like I mentioned. So for someone who is looking at that, for someone who is looking at gaining weight, you want to take the protein together with your meals. It's going to assist you with that. For people who are active, you want something to take before you hit the gym or something to take after the gym or after working out. It doesn't necessarily mean the gym. Maybe you're running, you're dancing, whatever it is that you're doing for your fitness. It is something that you can take before or after, and it will serve you effectively. Another thing is that it's a vitamin boost, okay? And you can get a lot of it actually when you're doing your smoothies. You can add a scoop, whether it's smoothies for your kids, smoothies for yourself, basically, or just you mixing it with milk or coconut milk or almond based, whatever it is you want to use as the base, the liquid base of it. Yeah, that's one thing you can add, and it will help with boosting the vitamins, okay? All right. So let's continue to the supplements. Are you ready to hear about the supplements? Hopefully, yes. So, okay, didn't see a response, but I'm hoping. Okay, thank you, Esther. Yeah. So we are getting to Forever Thumb. Forever Thumb, this is a dietary supplements. Okay. So basically, the supplements that I'm talking about tonight are food. They are food. They're not medicine, they are food. They are supplements. Okay, food dietary supplements. So basically, what we are doing tonight is learning how to bridge the gap of what we are lacking from our meals or what we eat. Okay, so the Forever Term uh, is basically it comes, let me tell you what it contains something called guarana extract. It contains raspberry ketones, it contains vitamin B and C, it contains green tea extract. All right, those are some of the things it has. So it's caffeine based, and basically what it does, and guarana extract, it's actually a fruit that looks a bit like a tomato. Yeah, and that is what is used when it comes to the thumb. And when you combine it also with the green tea, so you're able to get antioxidants from that, and you are able to get all the good stuff from the guarana. So basically what it helps in metabolism. It supports metabolism. So we know for your gut to be okay, your metabolism has to be okay. Okay. So if you're having a metabolism that's misbehaving, you are not going to have, excuse me, I'm so sorry for the noise. So you're not going to have a healthy gut if your metabolism is not okay. So Forever Term is able to take care of that by supporting our metabolism. It also supports what we call thermogenesis, which is basically how food is broken down and turned into energy. So also that ends up aiding in weight management. Okay, because we are fixing our metabolism. And remember, it's a food supplement, so it's actually healthy for you, it's organic, and it's good with no side effects. All right, and it's also full of antioxidants, and it also helps with energy levels. So if you're feeling somewhat down, you don't have energy, this is a very good supplement to take even as you're resetting your gut. So I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is the Forever Garcinia. Forever Garcinia, basically, we use something called Garcinia cambogia. Okay, and I will tell you what that is. It's a rind. It's rind is basically the skin, you know, like how the orange, the rind. Okay, so that is what is basically used. Sorry about that. And the main job, what it does, the greatest, is that it suppresses appetite and cravings. So if you're someone who goes through those mood swings of like, oh, I need a chocolate, oh my gosh, I'm craving fries, oh, I'm craving this is a wonderful food supplement that will help you aid in that, because it helps to support the enzymes that takes care of that. And it also helps us feel full. Okay, it sorry, not full. It helps our bodies focus on fats rather than carbs. So when we eat, because when we eat, the first thing our body does is take carbs very fast and converts them into glucose. Okay, so what it does to our bodies, it tells our body, hey, can you focus on the fat? first. Leave these carbs alone. Focus on the fat in the system. So with that, it ends up aiding in weight management, hence aiding in gut health and gut reset. I hope we are together so far. Okay. It also has an extra thing. It's called chromium picolinate, and what that does, it helps regulate blood sugar levels. Okay, so it basically supports our blood sugar and maintain healthy levels. So our Garcinia is very nice because it has those extra kicks. So with Forever, you don't only get to get one use out of the supplements that you're taking, you get multiple things. So like Garcinia, we're getting three things. You're suppressing our appetite, it's supporting that, it's supporting cravings, and it's also telling our body, hey, can you focus on the fat? Okay, so these are really wonderful food supplements that will help you bridge the gap, and you can't get this with food, so it's easier when you're taking the supplements to help balance that. All right, then we have the Forever Fiber. We know what fiber does to us. I don't think there's someone who doesn't know. However, let me tell you about the Forever Fiber. It contains 5 grams of mixed soluble fibers per sachet. Okay, so when you get the C9, which is on the right side of the screen, you get 9 sachets inside of Forever Fiber. And each sachet will have 5 grams of soluble fiber. And how you take it is that you mix it with water or your juice. You can even spread it on your meals. Yes, you can when you're taking, but when you're doing the C9, we actually take it with water, or you can mix it in your aloe. It's also okay. And what it does, it supports bowel movement. Okay, like I shared when I was talking about the aloe, if our bowel movement is not okay, then it basically means our gut is not okay, and you need fiber to help you with that. And it also feeds the good bacteria. Remember, I told you when we were starting that in our gut we have good bacteria and bad bacteria. This helps feed the good bacteria, and it also and therefore anything that feeds the good bacteria is actually called a prebiotic, because we have prebiotic, meaning from food, and we have probiotic that we are going to look at. And it also helps us feel full longer. So therefore, if you're looking at weight management or resetting your gut, it means if you're feeling full longer, you're not going to keep eating and keep snacking and keep what. So it means you're giving your gut a break. You're not eating all the time. So it ends up helping you and aiding you in weight management and resetting the gut, as simple as that. So it also helps with insulin spikes. Remember, some time back during one of the trainings, we talked about how glucose spikes. It spikes our insulin all the time. Whenever, especially when we eat processed meals, we are eating carbs and stuff. So my advice to you is, anytime that you're eating your carbs, you want to take a fiber and spread it on your carbs so that it can lower the spike. It doesn't mean that it won't spike, but the spike won't be as sharper. Okay, instead of having this sharp spike, it's gonna be like a wavy spike, which is better for you because you're not gonna end up crashing after that. All right. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide. I hope you've understood everything about the C9 so far, and if you have, please type C9 so I can see even as we move on to the next slide. Thank you. Okay, I was waiting for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the first thing we were looking at was detoxing. So now we are moving. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. We are moving to gut healing foods. Okay. Remember when I was talking about what meals are you eating? What food are you eating? Are you mindful of what you're eating? How fast do you eat? How slow do you eat? When do you eat? What time do you have your food? Do you go to sleep immediately after eating your food? So this is what we are looking at. And we are looking at gut healing foods, and some of the foods we can eat that are going to help our gut. So we have bone broth. I know we all know what bone broth is, and it helps in collagen. And also in Forever, we do have collagen. Okay, we have pure collagen if you want, and we have collagen that has biotin and has all those lovely things that help us in our system. Also fermented foods. So there's yogurt, there's kimchi, and when you're getting the yogurt, guys, it's not like the strawberry and the blueberry, and unless you're getting the 100% ones which are pure organic, okay? Like they have real fruit, not just a flavoring. Okay, and how I like explaining this, it's like a cake. When someone is baking a cake, and let's say you order for an orange cake, someone might, and I'm talking like this because I'm also a baker, you might take an orange flavor and add it to your batter, and then, hey, it tastes like orange, but it's artificial orange. However, there's someone who's gonna take the real orange, squeeze it, use the orange rind, use the fresh orange juice, and now that is a better cake because you're using the real flavor. So when you're taking yogurt and you want one that's gonna help you, you want to take, most likely actually the best is Greek yogurt for you, or plain yogurt, or buttermilk. That is what will help you because it has the live bacteria in it, and it's gonna help you. That is what you want to take, not really the flavored ones. But berries are good for us, as we will see. So you can add fresh berries into it, okay? Yeah, so and that's why I've written there probiotics. Remember I said pro comes from food. Then we have fiber rich foods. Okay, so like oats, we have legumes. So those are also things you want to add in your system. And we've seen we also have fiber in Forever Living. So you can also incorporate that if you don't have a meal that actually has that, or maybe you don't have time to actually make that food. You can just grab a Forever Fiber and mix it with the water and take it, and you're sorted. Okay. So then we have berries. Berries are powerful antioxidants. So these are also healing foods. And in Forever, we also have products that are rich in antioxidants. We have the Forever Berry Nectar. It is full of the richness of apples and cranberries. So this is a good drink that you can take that will help you with antioxidants. So if you're in a hurry and you're like, oh, I can't get to this, that's something you can actually grab and have it. We also have Forever Lithium, has a lot of antioxidants in it. We have several. We have a lot of supplements that actually have that. But you can always have an aloe berry nectar in your fridge, and you just grab it, take it, it's okay. Okay, if you're not able to reach to the berries. We also have omega-3. So here we're talking about fish, okay? We are talking about stuff like salmon, calamari. I'm not talking about akina tilapia and sijui, and I'm not beating them down. By the way, I love tilapia. But we are talking about the nutrients you are getting. So we want the rich omega-3, okay? And we get it from stuff like salmon and fatty fish. And in Forever, we actually have a very good supplement called Arctic Sea Omega. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit in a few. And we also need healthy fats. So like our avocado oils, our coconut oil, our olive oils, based on what you can be able to use. Those are the oils you want to focus on, okay? Because different oils affect our gut differently. Then we have nuts and seeds, and preferably we soak them. And I know this might sound a bit weird, but when they sprout, they're actually healthier for you and for your gut. You know, when they look like they're starting to grow, okay, you don't throw them out. They're actually good for you. You're actually supposed to eat them like that. They're way better than when they are plain, okay? All right, Emmanuel, I'm not able to see the time. What time is it? Let me continue. um so I hope I'm good on time. So we are now going to the gut supporting supplements. And guys, please stop drawing on my screen. I have a lot of drawings. We have gut supporting supplements and hydration. Remember, I started with detoxing, and then we got to gut supporting meals or food. And then now we are gut supporting supplements and hydration. You're going to look at this. So I'm going to start with the supplements. And we have one there, Forever Probiotic. Okay, are we together? Okay. Okay. So we have the Forever Probi, and it's the brown one next to the aloe vera gel on the photo. If you don't know how it looks like, it's the one that says 30 capsules. And it's a fantastic supplement from Forever Living. And it has live microorganisms, okay? So basically anything that says probiotic means it has live microorganisms, and it's vegetarian, it is soy based, and it is gluten free, okay? And actually, ours delivers 6 clinical studied bacterial strains. Okay. And it has over 8 billion CFU, live active microorganisms. That is what CFU means, in case you didn't know. And can you imagine getting 8 billion of that in one capsule? That is incredible. I think Forever has done such an incredible job. If you've never taken our probiotic, it might be time for you to consider, take a minute and actually say, this month I'm going to get myself one and take it. There are 30 capsules, enough for a month, and just reset your system, help heal your gut, help feed your gut. Okay, especially with like now for people who are in Mombasa, there's a lot of breakout for some infections. So probiotic is very good for that because it supports your good bacteria. So after especially taking medicines, this is something that you want to take to help and support your gut and your tummy. So it's a great one, okay? And the good thing with the Forever Living probiotic is that it is protected, so it's not affected by the acid. A lot of probiotics out there in the market, you end up taking them and they are processed in the stomach because the acid levels are very high, so they actually process it and get rid of it and kill it. But our Forever one basically is able to pass by the acid in our stomach and goes right into our intestines and it's released there. So it actually gets to the right places and where it belongs. So that's why you should consider it if you've never, okay? And it helps support gut balance and a healthy digestion, okay? So if you've never had it, this is something you want, especially if you're looking at gut health. The other one that we have is the Forever Fields of Green. This is also an incredible supplement, and it is vegetables. That's what I like to say. It's greens, basically. When you're looking at Fields of Green, it's green. It's the one right in front of the screen. I know you can see it there. And um, it has barley grass, it has cayenne. When you eat it, when you take that one tablet, you can literally taste green. You know how people say it tastes like green? Yeah, this is a supplement that you can confidently say it tastes like green. And it has also a bit of honey to just assist. And it's actually, I find it very tasty. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's alkaline. So it is able to help with the pH in our stomach. It is able to support that. It is able to support digestion. It is also able to help in detoxing because of what it contains and all the greens. So it's also a beautiful supplement to consider when you're looking at gut supplements. Okay. So the other one I'm going to talk about is the Arctic Sea. And our Arctic Sea is omega-3. It's the one above there in blue. And Arctic, why? Because where we get it is from the deep sea. So you get the pure minerals, the good minerals. It's not polluted there. So you're able to get all the beautiful oils from the calamari, from all the beautiful fish. So it's really a good omega, and it has DHA and EHA. They are so good for us. One is good for our heart and our brain, and the other one is good for joints. So this is if you are considering and looking for an omega that literally works for you, this is really good. And actually it supports immunity. So that is why we are talking about it, by the way, because remember we mentioned immunity and said it helps when it comes to gut. Okay, gut affects immunity like that. So when we take our omega and it supports our immunity, therefore it ends up supporting our gut. This is a supplement that you want to look at. And we've seen also that we need meals that have omega to be able to heal our gut. That is also the other reason why we should take our omega, and we should always consider it. And of course we have our aloe vera there. We've already talked about it, so I'm not going to repeat. Okay, so now I'm going to get to hydration. And remember when I talked about women needing 11 cups of water and men needing 13 cups of water, but if you really must do the minimum, 8 glasses of water every day, okay? And I know some people struggle when it comes to taking water. So you want to find a way that you're able to uh, get your water, to make sure you're hydrated. So whether there are fruits which have a lot of water, you have like watermelons, you have cucumbers, those are some of the things that you can take to help you. Or you can maybe make tea or something, tea that you haven't added like sugar, is just water, and then with like something like chamomile. So that is good for you. You can actually take that if you're struggling with taking water. However, you need to know that water plays a major role in our system. Our body is composed of a lot of water. So you need to take water all the time. So if you are struggling, you need to find a way that works for you and a way that you can incorporate water into your system to ensure you're having that much water. For people that work out, people who are in fitness, you need to take more water. For people who are in hot areas, you need to hydrate more. For people who are in cold areas, it doesn't mean that you should not hydrate. Hydration is a must. Okay, so it's very important when it comes to supporting our gut. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is fitness. So we've covered detox. Okay, so we've covered gut health. Remember, there was gut health, and then there was fitness, and then there was rest when we were starting. So we've covered gut health when we were looking at we've covered gut health when we were looking at the first part. So now we are getting to fitness. So last time we talked about it and we said we need 30 minutes of active, whatever form of you'll use to be active, whether it's a flight of stairs, whether it's hitting the gym, whether it's working out, however you're going to do it, we need 30 minutes of being active every day. In a week, it translates to 150 minutes. So meaning 5 days, because you also need a break. You can't do it every day. So you need to ensure you're breaking it down. Can I see in the chat like how many people actually get their 30 minutes workout every day? When I say workout, please remember it could be dancing, it could be walking, it could be swimming, it could be running, it could be hitting a gym. Can I see in the chat how many actually get 30 minutes every day? A minimum of 30 minutes. I would like to see, even as I continue. And if you're not, kindly consider. That's awesome. I'm seeing people saying me. That is amazing. If you're not doing it, by the way, you have to. It's not even a choice. If you don't do it, your body at some point will force you to do it. So you cannot be looking at wellness and you're not focusing on also fitness. So you need to figure out a way if you haven't. And how I like talking about this is saying, find something that works for you. Okay, maybe you don't like the gym. Like that photo there is me at the gym, and this is a miracle. I used to hate the gym. Let me say it that way. And there's nothing anyone could have done to get me to go to the gym. But here I am, and I started going, and now I've been doing it for I think around 3-4 months so far. And I've seen the benefits of it, and I've ended up loving it and liking it and enjoying it. So find something that works for you. Maybe you don't like the gym like I did, like the way I was. So maybe walking is better for you, or dancing or swimming. There are so many different ways of making sure we are active and reconnecting with the past. Remember back in the village, like in the village, people walk a lot. And nowadays we are unable to do it because we have cars everywhere. We have boda bodas everywhere. We have tuk-tuks everywhere. We have Ubers. So we don't walk as we used to walk before. So now you have to be very intentional about it, or otherwise you'll end up not doing anything about it. Okay, so this is something that you should also focus on when it comes to wellness. Okay, so as we've said, if you're not doing it, be intentional about it and do it. And remember, and it's not a threat, if you don't do it, at some point your body will force you to, or a doctor somewhere is gonna force you to. Okay, so we don't want to get there. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. So if you can prevent some of these things by just incorporating fitness into your day-to-day activities, please do. If you don't have a solid 30 minutes, you can do a 10 minutes in the morning, you can do a 10 minutes at lunchtime, you can do a 10 minutes in the evening. That is not a lot. It's a pocket that we can all squeeze in somewhere and get to do it. And you realize it will help a lot. It will help in your mental, it will help in how you feel. You will feel so energetic. It will be so good for you. And also, as you're going through your fitness, ensure you have also supplements to support you or meals to support you. And that's, remember when we talked about the Forever Ultralight, that is one that can support you when it comes to this. We also have the Forever Lean when it comes to fitness. We also have Forever Move for people who have issues when it comes to working out or walking and stuff. It supports our joints. So those are some of the things you can look at even when you're doing this, okay? And they're going to assist you and help you build your fitness. All right, let me get to the next one. So I love this picture here. Today, I give myself permission to do nothing. I know, sounds scary, sounds lazy, sounds, which other word can I use? But rest is very, very, very important. If you don't take time to get rest, your body will force you by breaking down. I've literally seen someone who has gone to the hospital and they don't know where they're hurting, but they know they're not okay and their body has broken down. And the doctor looks at them and says, you know what? You actually need rest. You're not sick. You need rest. They are fatigued. They are tired. They are exhausted. There's a reason why God rested on the seventh day. So there's a reason why we are supposed to rest. Okay? It's not a leeway for us to be lazy, but you're supposed to create and be intentional about it. The same way you're intentional when it comes to fitness is the same way you should be intentional when it comes to resting. So you should find pockets for you to rest. Whether you're a mom, a dad, you don't have kids, you're on your own, you're a busy working, whatever, find pockets for you to rest, okay? Whether and find the way you enjoy your rest. Some people enjoy resting by watching a movie. Some enjoy resting by walking, like on a beautiful nature trail and just feeling so relaxed. Some people enjoy resting by, hanging out. I don't know, whichever form, okay? But just find rest. Some sleeping, okay? Sleep. How many hours are you sleeping? Do you know how many hours you're supposed to get? You're supposed to get at least 7 to 8 hours. So how are you able to get those hours? If you are sleep deprived, can you get some time and at least sleep? Because it will catch up with you. It will reflect in your wellness. You will not be okay. There's a reason why God created sleep and why we need to sleep. So you just need to find a balance in how you're doing your life and ensuring that you get some time to sleep. So how many of us at least get a minimum of 6 hours? Can you write 6 in the group? I want to see. I'm waiting, even as I'm finishing. I am waiting for you. I want to see how many at least get 6 hours of sleep. And if you don't, okay, I've seen 5. And if you don't, I think we can get it to 6, hopefully. 6, okay, that's good. 5, okay, so I think, all right, all right, all right. A lot of us are there around 6. It's like an average. Wow, okay. So this is what I'm going to say. When you are able to actually get more than 6, please do. When you're actually able to get 7, please do. When you're actually able to get 8, please do. Because I can see majority of us get 6 hours, okay? So make sure you balance. Really don't go under that. Oh, wow, that's lovely. 8 hours, Kimanzi, that's amazing. So don't go under 5 hours for so long, because you actually, even 6, yeah, you will start experiencing fatigue at some point. So if you do that, ensure at some point you catch up with your sleep and get rest. It is okay. It is not wrong for you to sleep. You are not being lazy. There is a reason why it was incorporated, because when we sleep, that is when our body regenerates. That's when our body heals. That is when our body fixes itself. And for kids, that's when they grow. So we need sleep. It's very important. So I hope that you've gotten something out of this training tonight, and I hope that you've taken something that you can be intentional about to help you become better, to help you be able to take care of your gut, to be able to reset and to edit your health and your wellness and to become better. So if you were struggling with sleep, find out a way that you can be able to get that. And by the way, when you take care of your gut, guess what? You'll be able to sleep well. Okay, if you're struggling in that area. Also, if you're struggling with fitness, figure out a way that works for you. Okay, if you're struggling when it comes to your gut, pick something from what you've learned today, and I promise you, you're going to enjoy wholeness and you'll be okay. So, I have come to the end of my training tonight. And I hope to meet people who will say, hey, you talked about something and I'm actually implementing it. And I'm also learning with you as we do this. And remember to incorporate our wonderful supplements from Forever Living that will assist us even as we check out and we edit our illness. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Grace, for that